Time for a look at your West Tennessee forecast with meteorologist Brian Davis.
And a very good evening, everyone. You know what? Friday just around the corner, and it looks like we've gotten a lot of the storms out of here. We've been watching this severe storm over northwest Alabama. That's the last of the storms, and so far we fared up pretty good this evening. It was a low threat, but we did manage to get one storm out there just south parts of Madison County into Chester County. That was earlier this evening. It had up to 50-mile-per-hour winds. They did a special weather statement on it rather than a severe thunderstorm warning, which would have meant over 57-mile-per-hour winds. But it got close. But that was really, and there was a couple of other little storms out there that we were watching. But there was only one other one that went into northwest Alabama, and that one really became a nasty storm there. But it is moving completely away from Hardin County, so I don't see any more problems, at least this evening. Now, we do have a little resurgence of a few showers and storms about 3 a.m. in the morning, but those don't look severe right now. But there could be a few rumbles of thunder in and around Memphis and those areas. We'll show you that on Futurecast, but let's go ahead and get a check on our official numbers. We did top out at 94 today, so while it was, still a hot day, it at least stayed out of the upper 90s in most locations. And normal high this time of the year would be at 89. We're starting to get on the other side of the peak there, heading towards September. So the 30-year average highs and lows start to go back down again. And we should technically begin to see temperatures, slowly dropping, not quite as warm of highs and not as many of those and not quite as many of the 70-degree mornings. We would expect to see more of the upper 60s to kind of match close to that 30-year average of overnight lows as well. We did set a record high this day back in 1962 of 100 degrees. And so, but you don't see as many of those 104s and 106s and things like that as you continue this time of the year towards the end of August into September. It can still happen, but, we've just come over the peak into the very hottest part of summer. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the camera views. We're kind of doing the update a little bit early. I wanted to show the sunsets there. Beautiful view there in Savannah, where that storm has been leaving out there around 8:30 tonight, 8:20, 8:30. Now, 82 there, you could see beautiful evening sky. And Memphis, a little further west, where it's already just about completely dark there. At 84 degrees. And look at our area temperatures across the board. Now, out at the airport there in Memphis, it's still 90, so that varies depending on which part of the county you're in. We've got 88 in Selmer. We've got 82 in Parsons, 82 in Trenton, 81 right now in Paris, and Dyersburg coming in at 82. Winds are out of the north again, so we did see a few of those storms kind of fire up south of I-40 along that remaining boundary, which is dropping further south into Mississippi and North Alabama. But we're going to see a little bit of that start to bump back into the area in the early morning hours. It's about a 2-hour window. We'll have a few scattered storms there too. The overall severe threat is going to be much lower than it was even this evening or last night, which kept us here all night long. You and I, we stayed here, a bunch of us, just having to really watch these storms, tracking them through the area. There you can see the storms that we did deal with south of I-40, which were expected. But really the nastiest storm of all of them has been that one after it went on into northwest Alabama and then actually came back further north. That's why I had cautioned people in southeastern Hardin County to just be cautious. It was just over the line. But for those living right there. But now that has moved on further enough to the east that it's not going to be a problem there for Hardin County. But Middle Tennessee is going to be their ball game now, unfortunately. Well, surface low has been nearby. Notice it drops further south over the next couple of days, and that frontal boundary drops off to our south as well. We do have another frontal boundary there to the north that'll be approaching as we head into parts of next week, and that's going to bring the chances of rain in at times, but nothing above about 30%. You'll see that in the 7-day here in a moment. Of course, at least for the next few hours till midnight, if they don't trim this off in advance, This goes until midnight, and you can see we've got the still the marginal risk. They have dropped the 2 out of 5 risk a little further south and east for the rest of this evening, but I don't look for anything else through about midnight here that would be severe. But especially if you're traveling into northeast Mississippi, northwest Alabama, much more active the next couple of hours in those parts of the world. So use caution. Tomorrow, the severe threat is completely gone. But again, just recapping, there is a small hail threat there in that area. I'm just going to show you this officially, although in my opinion, I think it's all moved out for the rest of tonight. But there's the damaging wind threat. The yellow area is 15%. 5% is the brown shaded areas, and then the 5% risk of hail, which is right there just barely into the southeast part of our viewing area near the Tennessee River. Futurecast. So let's play this back. It did pretty good. It overdid it just a little bit. Now we're going to bring another one. There you can see it shows it moving down, and that's exactly what happened. It reacted right in here. 1, 2, and you can see about 3 a.m. there. A few little storms, about a 2-hour window. It doesn't look too bad, but southwest Tennessee, don't be surprised if you have some rumbles of thunder in there as well. And of course, that's just replaying this evening. There's 8 o'clock. You can see the storms are out of here. And then let's let this replay. There you go. 1 a.m. in the morning through about 3 a.m. right there. Those little pop-up thunderstorms, but again, those don't look severe. But you may, get woke up there to a rumble of thunder in Millington or maybe Memphis, or over as far east as about Bolivar or Brownsville. Again, we'll have the alert system rolling. If anything gets severe, if it gets really bad, I'll be in. But we'll also have that covering us for anything that might be issued. But again, we're not in the severe risk for the morning hours. Just use a little caution. Just know that there will be about a 2-hour window of a few storms from about 1 to 3 a.m. At least it's not an all-nighter. I tell you what, that was rough. All right, for the rest of this evening, there you can see we dropped through all the way into the low 70s. There'll be some of you upper 60s in the morning, but we'll wake up to we'll say 69 to 70, because I know somebody is going to be getting in the upper 60s there tomorrow, especially northwest or north of I-40, I should say. But we will have some fog out there too. Visibility will be kind of lousy with some patchy, dense fog through about the 8 a.m. hour, and then that's going to kind of mix out, and we'll go back to mostly sunny skies as we head into the afternoon. So as the school buses roll out, be very careful. Leave a little extra time there, because the buses will be running. It'll be about 70 degrees, dense, patchy fog. Allow some extra time to get to your location in the morning. But by about 3 to 3:30, as the buses are rolling back home, it'll be about 89. So a little cooler than it was this time today. And looking at the model blend of highs, still in our favor. We drop off to about 91 for the high tomorrow, back to 93 on Saturday. Slight chance of a few isolated to scattered storms Saturday night. Right now, you'll see I've got about 20%. And then we drop back down to around 90 degrees. This will vary a little bit from my numbers, but just I like to show you kind of that little pattern that's being indicated by the blend of models. Look into the weekend, so I've put 20% there for late Saturday evening. Most of the day will be completely dry, high of 93, low of 67. And then we've got about 90 on Sunday, looking like a great day. And look at that low Sunday night, 66 fall September-like degrees. So that's going to be really nice, especially after all this intense heat that we've had. So again, looking at our 7-day, about 91 for the high tomorrow. AM fog I've got on there for the early morning fog, but then mostly sunny during the afternoon. Got that slight chance of some isolated scattered storms late Saturday evening. Otherwise, the day looks dry. 93 for the high, 67 for the overnight low. Sunday, 90, mostly sunny, and 66 for the low. So we'll start off Monday morning about almost in the mid-60s. That'll feel nice. And we're only going up to about 88 there on Monday. We start to see that next front there that you were seeing in the surface map. It's going to start to come our direction. It'll bring a slight chance of some evening thunderstorms at 20% Monday. I bumped that to about 30% on Tuesday, mainly for the afternoon, early evening hours, as well as Wednesday. And then it looks like that rain will be moving out and we'll go back to a drier pattern, but we'll bump up a little bit there to about 94 on Wednesday and Thursday. All right, guys, have a great rest of the evening. Take care. As always, you can drop in, check things out at any time. We'll have the crawl at the bottom and the little warning screen. If there was to be a little surprise alert, it'll show you that. Otherwise, we're expecting it to be a lot quieter overall than what it was last night. Take care. As always, thanks for watching West Tennessee Weather Channel.
We are West Tennessee Weather Channel.